Hi, my name's Zara. This is the Low Limit Poker Challenge. I'm driving home from work today, and I just figured I'd think of a topic off the top of my head. And something that I've been thinking about for the last week or two is how many big blinds per hour can you win in live poker? And I think it's very different depending on the game that you choose. I think at my true peak of profession, I was a 5-5 PLO player, and I used to buy in for $1,500. And I actually didn't take fantastic records back then. I just know that I made the most amount of money. So I wish I did take better records. So now I do keep track on Excel charts for the last few years, even when I wasn't playing poker full time and I was only playing maybe 30 hours a week, give or take. So Ray and I started this channel. We did the 1-2 No Limit Poker Challenge. We did 25 sessions, and over the course of that challenge, I made in the high $30-something an hour range. Doing this from memory because I'm just driving home from work spontaneously. And Ray made about $10 an hour or something. He was really disappointed with his average. I was kind of disappointed. I thought he should have made more because you can get unlucky for a few sessions, but over the course of 25 sessions, I think you should be able to make more than $10 an hour. Just my personal opinion, not fact. I know the sample size is smaller than most of you would like, but I do think that 20 big blinds per hour is possible at 1-2. I do think playing at my peak, I can make 20 big blinds per hour at 1-2. I don't think that's a stretch either. I think even more might be possible. I've talked to a couple other people in my local poker room, and they were making about 20 big blinds an hour. Some of them claim to be making slightly more than 20 big blinds an hour. I do think that they're taking pretty good records, maybe not the best records, but I do think they're taking pretty good records. And I do view them as kind of serious poker players, mathematical type of people. So I do think 20 big blinds an hour, maybe even a little bit more, is possible. In general, I haven't played with them a significant amount. I just know that I have played with them sometimes, and they do seem to be very winning players. They do seem to be the types of players that could play higher if they chose to. One I'm thinking of, he used to play much higher heads up back in like 2011, and now he just chooses to play 1-2. And another guy, he has a job in finance, and he just plays for fun. So when he goes to play 1-2, it's very common for him to make $500 or $1,000 at the 1-2 table over the course of a long session. So I do think 20 big blinds an hour is possible at 1-2. I think obviously most players have a negative big blind per hour average. The average player is a losing player. And I think there's a couple of players who might be slightly above break even. But if you work at it and you kind of make it your life, I think you could easily make over 80 grand a year just playing 1-2. Might be slightly on the boring side, but it is what it is. So, stepping up to 2-5. 2-5 No Limit is my admitted worst game for some reason. I don't know if it's because of the lower relative buy-in, or I don't know what it is, but historically and pretty much throughout my life, I've been right around 6 big blinds an hour. It's a steep drop-off. It's a steep drop-off from 1-2. I mean, they just don't make as many mistakes at 2-5. In 1-2, you have the horrible players that just sit down and just throw away money, or just don't know how to play, or just don't know this or don't know that. So in 1-2 you have that. When you step up to 2-5, there's a clear jump in skill, which is a real challenge for me. And my hourly average is probably worse at 2-5. I'm going to say it's 6 big blinds an hour. I just don't get into as many enormous pots relative to the game, and I don't find spots to capitalize on profitable opportunities. Another thing too is that when I play 1-2, a lot of times I'll raise to an amount pre-flop that other players find ridiculous. Like I'll raise to like 17 pre-flop or 21 or 23 pre-flop. Two people limp in for $2 and I'll limp in for 23. So relative to the blinds, I'm raising a disproportional amount. And in 2-5, for some reason, I just raised to smaller amounts. 20 is probably my most frequent raise. I have $15 and $25 raises mixed in, and sometimes 30 or $40. But relative to the blinds, I raise proportionally smaller for some reason. Maybe that's something I need to work on. Maybe I need, if I do play more 2-5 in the future, I need to spend time on that and really try to get my my average up to like 10 big blinds per hour, because that'd be awesome to make $50 an hour at 2-5. So moving up to 5-10, this is my game of choice pretty much for all of 2019, averaging right around $90 an hour, right around 9 big blinds an hour. It is easier than 2-5. I want to say that some of the players are clearly better than most of the average 2-5 players, but what makes it easier is that when someone just wants to play poker for fun, they are a finance manager or hedge fund manager or whatever, they just go to the biggest game in the casino and they just jump money. And so there are going to be hands that are actually easier to play than when you play 2-5. So I think 2-5 is absolutely my last choice of game that I want to play when I go to the casino. 5-10 on average is absolutely easier. I don't know if everyone will agree with me, but I mean, I've played at Foxwoods, I've played in Florida, Vegas. Whatever the bigger game is almost always easier than the 2-5 game. Just my opinion, but that's what it works out to. The other day I went in and for some reason I just felt like playing 2-5. Someone had a piece of my action. I actually didn't want them to risk too much. And so I told the floor, lock up a seat at 2-5, and as I was going to get my chips, I passed by the 5-10, and I was like, nope, never mind, I'm going to 5-10. Bad plan. I don't even know why. So I haven't played any 2-5. So yeah, it's about 9 big blinds an hour. I would like it to be more. I had this buddy Rich who was a millionaire by 21 via poker, and I played a relatively small sample size, maybe less than 10 sessions with him on 5-10 no limit, but 7 of those 10 sessions he built up a stack of $10,000. He was very frequently 3-betting and 4-betting. He was very frequently one of the more aggressive people on the table. He was absolutely the most mathematical person on the table, but he would not be afraid to take risks that people like me and other people would not want to take. So yeah, I think 20 big blinds an hour is possible again on 5-10 no limit. I don't think I personally will ever reach that level of success because I'm not willing to take the risks that I saw him take, although they were very good and very calculated risks. I'm just not willing to do that. I have to draw the line somewhere. But I do want to make more than 9 big blinds an hour. I'm very happy making $90 an hour on average, and I'll be happy to get my average up a little over 10 big blinds an hour, I think. As you know, I do have a regular job and I don't get to play poker a lot, but if I could play 20 hours a week and make $2,000 a week on the side on average from poker, that would be great. So I am trying to improve. I'm not happy. I'm kind of happy. I don't want to sound like I'm not happy, but I'm not fully content, I should say, making 9 big blinds an hour, because I do think it is possible to make well over 10 big blinds an hour at 5-10. Just because there's going to be that high percentage of reckless players in the game throwing away money. At the bigger games, I haven't played a significant amount of 10 1/4 or 10-20, whichever game you have at your casino. Sometimes at Encore they have 10-20. At Foxwoods they had 10 1/4. But I haven't played a significant amount that I know exactly what my average is, because it was more like sporadic when the game's going. I would take a shot, do this, do that. I do know that I'm a winning player in those games. I feel comfortable at 10-20 or 10 1/4. That's a good game for me, buying for 2,500 or so. So I do like that, although I don't want to say what my average is. because I really don't know. I assume it's similar to my theory of the biggest game of the casino, and I assume there are people in the world that can win well over 10 big blinds an hour. I don't think I'm one of them. I think I'm probably, if I had to guess, I'm somewhere around the 4 or 5 big blinds an hour win rate at something like a 10-20 or 10 and a quarter. And the reason I would be winning less than other people that I would hope to play like and hope to strive to be like in the poker world, I'm just not willing to take the risks. I don't take huge downswings, and I'm just kind of not willing to, because I don't want to lose many buy-ins and be miserable because of poker. I've been through that many times in life, and it just doesn't feel good, and I just don't want to put myself through that. I'd rather have many small wins than my overall average being higher. So I think in a game like 10 and a quarter, 10-25, I'll probably cap out around 5 big blinds. I hope to do more, and I hope that my mindset changes, that I am willing to take much more risk. And like I've posted recently, I am going to be stepping up to 25-50, which is on the verge of what I can afford. My bankroll is 6 figures. I can afford to play poker for $5,000. Last time I played, I did feel like the best in the game. I won a little over 20 big blinds. I didn't calculate exactly how many hours I specifically played 25-50. I should have been keeping track, but it was only a short amount of time. But I did feel comfortable in the game, and I would be thrilled if I can win 4 big blinds an hour on average, and I would be thrilled if I can go every Saturday and the game's actually running. That's actually the thing that I'm most concerned about, is I want the game to actually be running, because once you get into these higher stakes games, it's actually hard to find opponents to sit down and play. And there's going to be some situations where I might not feel like I'm the best player in the game. There might be 3 other guys that are willing to play, and I don't want to be the 4th person that's uncomfortable playing at those stakes. So I think I'm very comfortable playing 9-handed with a table that's talking a lot, joking around a lot, and I might be a little too uncomfortable and pass on the opportunity if it's a 4-handed game with 3 other guys that kind of look like they really know what they're doing, and they're not talking, they have their headphones on, and they're sitting there with $12,000 each. So I will update you guys as I play more 25-50. I'll try to keep good records and tell you how many big blinds per hour I'm winning or losing. I would be happy with 4 big blinds an hour. That'd be $200 an hour. I'd be thrilled with that. And it's going to go kind of infrequently, so the average is going to be based on a pretty small sample size. So I hope we'll take that with a grain of salt. But I will try to update you guys, because I think it's very interesting to play the somewhat higher stakes. I mean, it's not the highest stakes game in the casino, but for me, it's pretty high stakes. $5,000 is a lot of money to me. So, all right, I'll talk to you guys again. Hope you find this somewhat entertaining.